turtle. So some of the results from our turtle data. We caught a total of 67 individuals during the study from 5 different species of turtle: Apollonia spinifera, Schleygia serpentina, Sternothrus minor, Sternothrus odoratus, and Trachemys scripta. So I'll go over these again in just a second. This is a pie chart of the last table, so you can visually see what the population looked like. And the most abundant turtles in this population were actually Trachemys scripta, representing 38% of the population, and Sternothrus odoratus, representing 34% of the population. Schleygia serpentina were somewhere in the middle with 18% of the population, while Apollonia spinifera represented only 6%, and Sternothrus minor represented only 4% of this population. And some sampling bias may exist, because most of the turtles that we caught, like I said before, were with a dip net. And turtles that tend to be swimming in the middle, the deeper portions of the ponds, we just couldn't access. The golf course prevented us from putting a canoe, a raft, any kind of flotation device in the pond, so we were limited with what we could do with the dip net. We also did try to catch turtles using a swimming pool extendable net, but the turtles would just go that far away and you just couldn't reach them. Like with all your oomph, you couldn't make it. So, for the softshell turtle, the average straight carapace length was 22.2 centimeters, and the average weight was 3.01 kilograms. For the snapping turtle, the average straight carapace length was 26.58 centimeters, and the weight was 7.05 kilograms. For the loggerhead musk turtle, the average straight carapace length was 6.93 centimeters, and the average weight was 0.15 kilograms. For the sting pot, the average straight carapace length was 9.85 centimeters, and the weight was 0.26 kilograms. And finally, for Trachemys scripta, yellow-bellied slider, the average straight carapace length was 17.51 centimeters, and the weight was 1.66 kilograms. And to summarize all that data, we have this lovely graph. And as you can see by this lovely little bars here, wait, that's the wrong button. Okay, this first column here is Apollonia spinifera, and the second column here is Schleygia serpentina. These two species of turtle were the largest turtles that were found in our population. And if you look at this standard error bar, the variation occurs, there's a large variation, because we caught only 4 softshell turtles, 2 of which were male and 2 of which were female. And there's a sexual dimorphism that occurs in the size, where female turtles are about the size of a car tire, and males can be as small around as a dessert plate. So if you catch a lot of females, you know, it's going to look like your population is, softshell turtles are really large. If you catch a lot of males, it's going to look like they're kind of tiny. So our kind of in the middle again is Trachemys scripta in the size range, and then Sternothrus odoratus and Sternothrus minor are the smaller individuals in this population. And this is again, this is the weight this time, and again, Apollonia spinifera and Schleygia serpentina were not only the largest in size, but they were also the heaviest. So the species richness for our population was 5 species, and historical data suggests that on average there are 5 to 9 species per site, so we're right at the norm, although I think that number is low for Alabama considering the fact that we have, I think it's one of the highest populations of species anywhere except for Asia. Is that correct, everyone? Yep. So that number could be a lot higher in some sites across the state, but ours only had 5. The Shannon-Weiner Species Diversity Index was calculated where H prime was 0.29, and the ratio of H prime divided by H max was 0.83. And the closer this ratio is to 1, the more even the population is. So this is if you sample a whole population, how likely is it that you get a snapping turtle? How likely is it that you get is the population even, or is one species dominant as opposed to other? And Simpson's index was calculated where D was 0.55. This number, 0 represents infinite diversity, while 1 represents no diversity. Simpson's index of diversity 1 minus D was 0.70. And the greater the value here, the greater the sample diversity. And then finally, Simpson's reciprocal index 1 over D was calculated to be 3.39. And the higher the value here, the greater the diversity.